Good evening. I'm Gary Franchi, Next News Network Chief White House Correspondent, delivering the latest White House news from the past 24 hours in partnership with our streaming partner, Trump Daily Post. Tonight, the White House drove one message above all others. Trump accounts are now officially live. Millions of American children are already signed up. Major private support is pouring in, and the administration paired that launch with fresh economic wins on pricing, manufacturing, and American strength. The White House central focus today was the official launch and explosive early success of Trump accounts. The administration cast the program as a direct investment in America's future, highlighting that millions of children are already enrolled, corporate backing is building fast, and the broader message from the day is clear. The Trump administration is pressing a results-driven agenda built around family finances, domestic industry, and national pride. The White House said that President Donald J. Trump marked the launch by ringing the opening bells of both New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq from the Oval Office. Trump accounts created under the Working Families Tax Cuts Act give eligible American children a tax advantage path to build wealth, including a one-time $1,000 seed investment for children born between January 1st of 2025 and December 31st of 2028. The White House said that more than 6 million accounts have already been requested, and more than 86% come from families earning less than $200,000 a year. From the pool report, reporters gathered at the White House this morning ahead of the anticipated Trump accounts launch on a warm, partly cloudy day in Washington. The golden bell engraved with Trump accounts stood in the Oval Office for the joint bell ringing tied to the New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq. 9 children stood in front of the Resolute Desk as key figures, including Senator Ted Cruz and National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett, who also took part in the event. Also from the pool reports, the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent opened the ceremony before President Trump rang the bell at 9:30 a.m. to loud applause. The president hailed the official launch, celebrated the program, and tied it to a broader message that the country is stronger. Also from the pool reports today, President Trump projected confidence in the economy and said companies building cars in the United States will avoid tariffs. He praised domestic factory construction, predicted a major economic boom, and returned repeatedly to the administration's push to build financial security for American children. Senator Ted Cruz also thanked the president during the Oval Office event for stepping in on a World Cup issue involving what Cruz called a ridiculous red card. President Trump wrapped his Oval Office remarks at 10:42 a.m. after touching on cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, and the need for the United States to lead rather than let China take the advantage. He also announced a new White House helipad funded entirely by Sikorsky, with construction details centered on upgraded helicopter operations and White House grounds protection. President Trump praised the World Cup's enormous audience and said he's spoken with FIFA President Gianni Infantino and pointed to huge viewership projections and voiced support for a review of the controversial red card involving Valerian Balogun. Also from the report, the president moved to a Rose Garden Club lunch just before noon, entering to Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA, as guests stood and applauded. Also from the pool reports at lunch, President Trump defended plans for a new White House ballroom, tied it to secure hosting for major world leaders, and said that President Xi of China is expected to visit before the end of September. He also returned to Trump accounts, praised the stock market, emphasized merit in education and military recruitment, and said he's ready to help states battling crime if asked. Also, the president, he thanked major companies supporting Trump accounts, highlighted tax advantages connected to the program, and pointed to gains in 401k plans before closing the event with music from what he called the Trump playlist. In a later pool detail from the launch, President Trump said the United States has the hottest stock market in history, signaled continued firmness on Iran not obtaining a nuclear weapon, and said crime in Washington has fallen sharply through cooperation with local authorities and military involvement. He also described the planned new ballroom and military center as highly secure and built for future administrations. And from the daily guidance, the schedule also included executive time, the Oval Office Trump accounts launch, the Rose Garden lunch, a meeting with the National Border Patrol Council Executive Committee, and a policy meeting before the president departs for Ankara, Turkey. On Tuesday and Wednesday, the president is set for arrival events, bilateral meetings, NATO sessions, and a press conference before returning to Washington. The White House placed a lunch lid in effect until 1:40 p.m., marking a routine midday pause in public activity. The White House also said that Vice President J.D. Vance will travel to Milwaukee on Wednesday to deliver remarks on the Trump administration's work combating fraud. Taken together, the past 24 hours showed a White House pushing a strong family-centered economic message, spotlighting Trump accounts as a signature policy win, reinforcing confidence in American industry and markets, and keeping the president active on diplomacy, security, and the road ahead. That is the latest from the White House.